Net zero is when an institution or a company or a group gets to zero carbon emissions. That means that they're emitting absolutely zero carbon.
Zero carbon emissions or zero waste, depending on your definition. I think for me personally, it would be if I was going to live a net zero life, I would have zero waste and emit zero emissions, whether that's carbon, methane, what's the other thing called? From the refrigerators? Chlorofluorocarbons.
Oh.
No. And hydrochlorofluorocarbons.
Net zero is when a institution or place, I guess, what is the word I'm looking for? Emits net zero carbon, as in like the carbon that they emit is either offset or they don't emit any carbon in their practices. They do like sustainable energy, sustainable transportation. It's just reducing that carbon output into the atmosphere to zero.
In the context of like a business or something, if you are emitting a certain amount of carbon emissions, then you need to be doing things to either restrict that to zero or offset it, so the emissions are essentially zero.
Net zero, I think, is you're taking in as much carbon as you're putting out.
I think it's much more about changing our relationship with energy and carbon dioxide so that we can adequately address climate change.
To me, sustainability is working in conjunction with economics, the environment, and social justice, all coming in together into one. Especially economics, because I think when it comes to any environmental issue, you can't really get anywhere unless you specifically focus on economics and social justice, because those are the two forefronting issues before environmental justice can happen. Because without social justice, without everyone having equity and equality, and without us being economically growing, no one's going to focus on the environment, and that's the biggest issue out of all three of these.
And sustainability is that combination, that balance of reaching a standard environmental, social, and economic quality of living that benefits as many living beings as possible. And net zero allows us to achieve that because contamination is something that affects a lot of species in many different ways. And not having net zero allows us to reach that sustainable goal.
Sustainability, I guess in short, is like basically meeting the needs of the present without compromising those in the future to be able to do the same. So just making sure that we're not going to be depleting our resources so our kids or our kids' kids' kids can do the same, and basically leaving no impact tangibly like that.
The nexus of environmental, economic, and political thought, it's putting together knowledge that we have in all of these fields to try to make a effective and equitable society which is ecologically sustainable. Well, I can't say sustainable, which is ecologically conscious and designed for all of the members of our society.
Sustainability to me is living your life when you are trying to protect the environment as much as possible, whether it's like conservation, preservation, whatever that means to you, but it's always prioritizing the health of the environment.
Sustainability is being able to live while responsibly using your resources like water, food, and your space. It usually refers to societies or countries.
I mean, to me, I want to have kids, and I don't want to bring kids into this world that isn't a sustainable world that's going to sustain itself for generations, decades, hopefully millennias. Maybe not that one, but for a long time, for the future.
I've been really interested and passionate about environmental sustainability for a really long time, and I think that, learning about the ways that environmental change and climate change impact certain communities, and the way that individuals can help stop it on their own, just became something I was really interested in and wanted to help combat and participate in myself.
We really need to protect our planet. Our lives are at risk. And we need to understand that other species also have the same rights as human beings to live, to thrive. And yeah, we just need to coexist within each other. And I want to continue to bring that message onward and for people to just understand each other. It's a big part in achieving world peace as well.
I think it's one of the most rewarding things to care about. I think that, you know, you could care about money or you could care about sports. I've watched a lot of soccer and stuff like that. But sustainability is something which I can't separate myself from and which I think about every day in everything that I do. I care about it because it means the most to everyone.
Keep going.
I guess my main idea is that I care about sustainability because it has a bigger importance than just myself. It goes to the people who I interact with every day and the world that I live in.
I'd like to have a tomorrow that's really it's like as simple as it gets. You know, I mean, we live in a world that we can see the effects of climate change already. We know it's going to get worse, and it feels like there's nothing we can do about it, but there is, and that's why we're here.
Always thought about wildlife and nature in general ever since I was little, but you know, then you grow up and you're like, oh yeah, people also very much need this too. It's not just for you know, benefiting, you know, nature, and you know, that as a whole benefits us, so we should try and live it harmoniously with that, and so that we can continue to do it, because the way we're doing it is not really working.
I care about it just because the way I grew up, I guess, and the different activities that I've been a part of, and just constantly being outside and stuff like that, I see value in protecting the environment, and it is very meaningful to me, so that's why I care about it, because I care about other people and other species as well.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
100%, yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. At times, yes. I would say that at times it can be pretty inclusive and productive, because you have a group of people coming together to create new ideas to help solve sustainability issues. But then again, you walk on campus and I see 80 disposable vapes. I see so much trash everywhere, and the trash bins are overfilled. So in a sense, it's kind of.
I know that in a college apartment, my roommates and I, we try to be as low waste as we possibly can, but it's tough because you're constantly on the go. You want to bring a snack with you. It's tough to do dishes all the time, especially when you're doing stuff with the dining hall. You don't know where the waste is going. It's consistently you're able to exist in a sphere where you're not really worrying about where the waste is going.
But take for instance food waste. Usually people are up late studying, doing assignments, the dining hall's closed, so then you go to takeout, some form of takeout, and then where does that go? Either you have food waste that you just kind of put in the trash chute and then you have no idea where that goes, or you just take the containers and you put them away and you don't really care, I feel like. So that, and then just kind of other sorts of possessions that you might have and then get rid of at the end of the year is very common. You'll see a bunch of things that are thrown out.
Takeout, just that whole thing of you can't really, unless you go to a dining hall, you can't really get food anywhere else unless you do takeout, so that's just going to produce a ton of waste. And that kind of goes for a lot of things that we have is, since you're kind of isolated, you don't have a mode of transport, you can't transport yourself very easily, it's hard to get things the right way, get things you need the right way, so doing things sustainably is kind of hard, buying used items or whatever is not always easiest. Sometimes it's easiest to just go buy new stuff from a Target because it's a 5-minute drive and your friend doesn't have that much time.
Example, Rutgers, takeout. The plastic is so bad. It's really bad. At home, I do not use any plastic, but here, it's just forced on us.
That college life is wasteful, but I think that most people just are, generally.
Most of the time, it's just whatever is more convenient. So if I'm not bringing my reusable water bottle and I just get a water bottle from someplace else, or even eating single packaged foods like ramen and stuff like that. It's just because it's in my room and it's at my fingertips, so then I would produce a lot of like plastic waste, I guess. That's my biggest thing.
For me specifically, I try and compost, so I compost my banana peels, my orange peels, my kiwi peels, all of that. I cook everything and I try to eat as little meat as possible. Really, I eat chicken a lot, but I try to eat more veggies, tofu, that kind of stuff. I think if you go to the dining halls, you could be pretty easily less wasteful, except I know a lot of people when they get takeout, they throw out their plastics and they don't finish all their food. I have a reusable water bottle actually right here, shameless plug, therma flask. So I haven't used a water bottle in years. So I could say I want to say you could be very wasteful, or you can try and limit yourself as much as possible.
That a lot of people treat college as a time which you can literally throw away. The systems that have been put in place at universities are often more tailored around the experience of the student, which is not necessarily wrong, but sometimes that causes it to be inherently unsustainable or wasteful.